Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Mixin', fixin' for another big game. It's the coach. You're set for Madden football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see running back Joe Mixon coming off a 100-yard performance a week ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the New York Giants. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charlie.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by their now 30-year-old quarterback, Cam Newton, MVP of the league back in 2015.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
And they're coming off a good win on the road last week, but they do know that they have a home game next week. So all the focus has to be, can they get a second win on the road and make going home that much sweeter? That's the intention in this ball game.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun to give to Mixon. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. We'll look now at our starting defense. Currently #1 in the NFL against the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. 3rd play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Newton now to throw. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Returnable for Thomas. Touchdown, New York. Covered a lot of ground there, 81 yards on the punt return, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. They get the stop defensively, force the punt, they score without their offense even stepping on the field.
I remember playing on special teams and teasing the guys on offense. Like, look, don't even worry about it. You guys just hang out over there. We'll bring this one all the way back and get the points we need. In this case, they actually got that done.
Lutz good on the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
The numbers for Mixon last week, 24 carries, 102 yards.
Was the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher. That play was well covered, just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, we're not able to find any yardage on that one.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on third? Out of the gun, Newton. They'll roll him out right. He may try and run for this. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
A first carry for Christian McCaffrey, who made his first Pro Bowl last year. He takes this for 3 to the 29. And the offensive starters for the New York Giants.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
On second down, McCaffrey. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Eric Berry's the textbook definition of ball-hawking safety. You name it, he can do it on the football field.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Cousins now. And Eifert has it. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Give them 18 there, and the Giants have a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
The numbers for McCaffrey last week. 10 carries, 61 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
They'll run with McCaffrey. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open.
The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. And the Vikings pick up the football. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Everyone's got four down.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, it's Warren. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
But forget knowing where the 1st down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
From the 25 on 2nd down, Newton, and it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Newton. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings. Mixon with a 1st down carry. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
From just shy of midfield, Newton, and the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 41-yard line.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the 1st half, and that's the 1st target, not just the 1st catch, 1st target. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Newton throwing again. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. To the air again, Newton. That'll be complete to Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Jared Cook, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it's...
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Gonzalez now to add the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Come on, man. Let's go.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Cousins. He'll hit Jackson complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away.
Here we go. Here we go.
So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
New York set to take the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And just like that, it's third down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. First grab for Fitzgerald. He's got a first down. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. McCaffrey. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Now a run with McCaffrey. 13 yards, good for a giant first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Here's McCaffrey. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it'll bring up third down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's got Fitzgerald. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 20-yard line. From the red zone now, Cousins. And he finds Fitzgerald. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
To throw again on 2nd down, Cousins. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Larry Fitzgerald. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants are going to jump back in front. And man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 17-14. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help him at contract time.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Throwing on third down, Newton. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And a return across midfield into the 46-yard line.
Defense.
Trailing in the fourth, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. This is McCaffrey. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The Giants on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Play action now. Cousins. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. Tyler Eifert there to make the grab. And thanks to the interception, the Giants offense cashes in with 6. Lutz good on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now here's a throw, and that's Taywan Taylor with it. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Throwing again on 2nd down. Newton, he gets this one to Boyd. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That one a first down pickup of 8. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 46. And here's a throw that's taken in by the tight end Cook. They get 14 there, 1st down Vikings. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, Newton rolling to his right. Now he'll pull it down. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
Mike 58 right there. Here we go, here we go.
From the red zone now, Newton. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Here's Newton. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down. fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it second and goal as they look for a late touchdown. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
Let's put up or shut up time. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Tedrick Thompson picks it.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Warren. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They'll run on first down. It's Warren. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. But how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Giants,
EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game.